I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
The Knockem Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. Hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the Knockem Comedy Show. Thanks for joining us today, the Knockem Comedy Show. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club, and we're on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, the Facebook and the YouTube channels. But please subscribe to both channels, the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. But I am looking at the comments on the YouTube channel. So if you'd like to comment this morning, and I please ask that you do, and I hope you do, please write to me on the YouTube channel, because that's where I'm looking at the comments. The phone lines are open this morning as well. And it's good to see you. Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Good to see you. Hello, Mr. Walker. Shut up, Andy. I've always wanted to do that. Shut up, Andy. Andy Plajanos, about an hour or so ago, let me know that he's not going to make it today. Son of a bitch bastard. So this is our Andy today. So we'll be doing that all day Andy. Good to see everybody. Hope you're all well. Happy Friday to you. Lots of stuff going on this weekend. Lots of great shows at Governor's Comedy Clubs. Zoner Garg, Chris and Tinsley, Chris Frangiola, Dorothy and Sophia Holiday Drag Show, Chris Scopo, Jim DeLakis, Allison Persky, Les Deegan, Olga Nema, Jeff Goldberg, Sean Donnelly, Teddy Smith, Doug Luby. Just some of the names, some of the comedians you'll see on Governor's stages this weekend. I'm going to see a great comedian this weekend. I have a very busy weekend. I have a game show tonight in a private party in Woodbury. I have a game show tomorrow night, private party in Stony Brook. And then Sunday, I'm going to see my favorite, my man, Joey Cola. Going to see my pal Joey Cola. He's hosting, Joey goes around the country with 3 stars of The Sopranos. Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher. Vincent Pastore, who played Pussy. And Steve Sciarippa, who played Bobby Bacala. The 3 of them go around the country and they talk about The Sopranos. They do a Q&A. And Joey hosts the whole thing. He does a few minutes at the beginning of the show, which he should because he's hilarious. And then he hosts and moderates the Q&A. So, looking forward to that. That'll be on Sunday. So that's fun. Speaking of Sunday, maybe if you're not going to the Soprano thing with Joey Cola, maybe you'll head on over to the brokerage. Hanukkah ha-ha. Hanukkah ha-ha. Let me see. Where's my description? Uh-oh. Hanukkah ha-ha, a fundraiser for Israel. Sunday, December 10th. Doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 7 p.m. A fun night filled with laughter, joy, and support for Israel. This in-person event promises to be a memorable evening where you can show your love for Israel while enjoying a fantastic comedy show. Hanukkah Ha-Ha is a unique fundraiser that aims to bring together the community in a lighthearted atmosphere. Our lineup of talented comedians will keep you entertained throughout the night, ensuring laughter and good vibes all around. Mark your calendars and get ready to laugh your heart out. By attending this event, you are not only treating yourself to an evening of fun, but also contributing to a worthy cause. Your support will help raise funds for the Chabad of Tiberias. Chabad of Tiberias. The money goes directly to the Israeli families for food, shelter, toys, supplies, and much more. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to make a difference while having a great time. Spread the word, invite your friends and family, and let's come together to celebrate the Hanukkah in style. To celebrate Hanukkah in style. Please note that due to limited seating, early registration is recommended. We can't wait to see you at Hanukkah Ha-Ha as a fundraiser for Israel. This comedy is not kosher. All proceeds go to Israeli families for medicine, food, and shelter. Your host, Allison Persky. The comedians, Alan Streisfeld, Errol Firestone, Jeff Goldberg, Les Deegan, and your headliner is Olga Namer. And there will be some very special guests. That's a great show right there. That is a great show. So head on over there and enjoy that. And while we're at it, talking about great shows at the brokerage, don't forget December 22nd. Please make your reservations to see this show because we want people to be there and we want to entertain and we want to get paid. December 22nd, join Knockem Dead Comedy. It's a fun night, a murder mystery evening, a holiday-themed murder mystery at the brokerage with Knockem Dead Comedy. Music, giveaways, holiday fun, all to die for. Showtime is 8 p.m. Doors open at 6. It's going to be a great time. I promise you that. You'll see me. You'll see Jeff Bosey. And a lot of hilarious performers as we perform our holiday-themed mob show for you. Govs.com, baby. Come check us out. Knockem Dead Comedy at the brokerage. Andy, you've seen Knockem Dead Comedy. You've performed at Knockem Dead Comedy. What do you think? Well, the performers work very hard at what they do. Shut up, Andy. So, okay. Hey, speaking of great shows, last night last night this club was hopping, ladies and gentlemen. There was some cool stuff going on in this club. Hello, John. Happy Friday to you, pal. Please tell us that you're watching on the comments. Let's hear from you. I'm by myself today, so I need stuff to talk about. So let's say hi. And the phone lines will be open as well in a little while. So last night, this place was hopping. There was a show in the Giggle Room. Long Island Emerging Talent. That's where up-and-coming Long Island comedians get to perform. In this room, we had Nick Greystone and Primal Scream. I almost said Primal Fear. Primal Scream with Nick Greystone was in this room. And in the main room, Tom McGuire was hosting. Chris Roach featured. I mean, that alone, Tom McGuire is, talk about up and coming. I'm telling you, that guy is going to be a name. Remember that name, Tom McGuire. We've never had him in here because he works during the day and basically refused to take a day off. But he's been in here for Green Room and stuff. Yeah, he's a great dude, young, talented guy. He hosted Chris Roach. What can you say about Chris Roach? You never go wrong with Chris Roach. Hilarious. Chris has been in here many times. But headlining the one and the only Tom Green. If you're my age and were in your 20s in the 90s, like I was, you know who Tom Green is. Tom Green made a big splash in the 90s. He was on MTV, known for his pranks. I mean, just out of this world craziness. He had the Tom Green Show on MTV. He actually had the Tom Green Show in a bunch of different places. And he still actually has a Tom Green Show. I believe it's on YouTube. You guys might remember he was married to Drew Barrymore for a short period of time. He's made some movies. Freddie Got Fingered is probably his biggest movie. In my opinion, he paved the way for Jackass, the TV show and the movies Jackass, because Tom Green was doing pranks before that show came on. In fact, that show came about. Tom had some health issues, so he had to take some time off from his show, and then that's when Jackass came around. But also, Tom does a lot of man-on-the-street type interviews. He'll set up a camera and just talk to people. And I personally love that stuff. I love, you guys see that in here. That's what I love doing. I just love having conversations with people and see where it goes. Even if it's not funny, it might be just interesting or just something cool. So yeah, and he's definitely one of my inspirations for that, and definitely one of the best at it. And I just feel like he kind of paved the way for podcasts, even because that's what every podcast is now. Just people talking. So yeah, great comedian, groundbreaking work in my opinion. Yeah, his TV show, some of the stuff he did was just insane. If you're, he's probably from his show, which I was even refraining. I was pausing, so I wasn't sure if I was going to bring it up or not, but I will. When he was the most craziest thing that I know of anyway that he did on his show was when he milked a cow, and then but he milked the cow with his mouth. That was, and you can find that on YouTube. It's crazy. It's really something. And then he used to pull a lot of pranks on his parents. And his parents never laughed. They never found him funny. They would always yell at him to turn the camera off and stuff. And there was one time he had professional car detailers, I guess you would call them, paint, or put a picture of girls performing oral sex on a man. They had that put on his father's car. It's awful. I don't have the guts to do it, but it was something. It was really funny. So anyway, Andy, have you ever seen Tom Green? Well, I do feel that Tom Green paved the way for a lot of us comedians today. But what's up, Andy? Who asked you? So Tom Green was appearing here at the club last night. First time here in many years, several years. So, and Nick Greystone. So first off, I feel bad for Don Sill. Don Sill is a huge Tom Green fan. Don Sill. Don Sill wanted to get here last night, and we've been talking about it for a month or so now. Where Don really wanted to get here and meet the guy and try to get him in here. Don couldn't make it. Very upset. Don works on a show called That Show Tonight with Michael Loftus, and this week they've been preparing for tomorrow night's show, so Don just couldn't make it. And he was very upset about it. And then even Nick Greystone said to me, he's a big Tom Green fan, so he even said to me, hey, look, if there's any way of getting Tom Green in here, he goes, I don't care if my show is on or not. He goes, you infiltrate my show and get Tom Green in here. I'm like, okay. And I even said that to you guys yesterday. I didn't know if we were going to get him or not. And if we did, I didn't know if he was going to record with us. I didn't know if we were going to go live. I didn't know if it would be before or after Nick's show. Like, I had no clue. So I got here last night, probably about 7 o'clock. And I walk in, and Tom Green has done a lot of stuff on his YouTube show with his dog. He has a dog named Charlie. Does a lot of stuff with Charlie. Takes Charlie with him everywhere. So I walk in, and there's Tom Green standing in the doorway of the green room, and he's talking to Jack Adam. I think, Jack's been in here a couple of times. And he's also talking to another up-and-coming comedian, Nick Maloney. Or is it Nick Mahoney? Nick, my apologies, pal. I forget if it's Mahoney or Maloney. I think it's Maloney, right? So anyway, he's talking to them, and I walk in, and there's Charlie. Charlie turns and looks right at me. So I go, oh, hi, Charlie. And I go over, he comes to me, and I start petting him. And I could see it all over Tom's face. Like he was impressed I knew the dog's name. So I knew immediately. I was like, oh, I'm in. I nailed it. So, which is always a good feeling when these headliners come in. So I'm petting the dog, and sure enough, he goes, hey, what's up, man? I go, hi, Tom. I get up and shake his hand and say, how you doing? He goes, good. How's it going? Now, I'm going to tell you, Tom Green, he's known for all of his crazy stunts. He's known for his pranks. I've always felt like if you have the balls to do the crazy stuff that he's done, that you're not right in the head. So I expected a weird dude. I expected a weird dude when I come in here. Tom Green was the furthest thing from weird. He was probably the most normal guy I've ever met in my life. Friendly guy. I mean, he talked to everybody that was in this hallway last night. But like I said, it was 7 o'clock, so it was only the three of us and Tom. And but again, I won him over immediately by knowing the name of his dog. So I'm talking to the dog for a second, but yeah, so he says hi, we shake hands. So immediately, I mean, my apologies to Jack and Nick because they were like kind of out of the conversation at that point. But they're very young guys, Jack and Nick. I don't think they're either one of them are even 25 yet. So I don't even know if they knew who he was. I shouldn't guess like this, but I'm gonna anyway. My guess is that they didn't know the name of the dog. So Tom Green is only a year younger than me, so I'm guessing he just felt a little more comfortable that he had somebody more relatable. So I did. I kind of knocked Nick and Jack out of the conversation. But Tom goes, he goes, hey, what are you doing? Are you performing tonight? I said, no. I said, I run the podcast studio. I said, we're doing a show tonight. I said, but by all means, if you feel like popping in, we'd love to have you, of course. And he said, well, my manager's coming tonight to this show. He goes, after the show, I got some stuff to talk about with him. We're going to grab a beer at the bar. He says, I'm not sure if I can make it in. And he was very, I'm really sorry about that. I was like, hey, Tom, no problem, man. I said, it just doesn't hurt to ask. And he goes, look, next year, I'm going to have a special coming out. He goes, so I'm going to be hitting the road again to promote it. He goes, I'll definitely be back here. He goes, I will definitely come in the next time I'm here. I said, good enough, man. No, really, no problem. I said, just a pleasure to talk to you. No problem. So he goes, so you run the podcast studio? I go, yeah, it's right over there. I said, yeah, I see, I'm in here all the time running the shows. He goes, the last time I was here, I think That's when they were building it. It was the last time I was here. It's like, oh, okay. So that's almost, he was like 6 or 7 years ago. I said, no, it's almost 10 years ago they built it. I said, I've been running it for 6, or just about 6. And he goes, well, let me check it out. I'm like, oh, okay. So we came in here, and I mean, he was asking questions about the mics. He knew all about these mics. And he was like, oh, these are top of the line. I said, yeah, actually they are top of the line. He goes, oh yeah, you're using GoPros. And I said, yeah. I said, the GoPros work nice. We had a nice conversation. I really liked the room. So yeah, he seemed very impressed. So, because then he started saying, I'll definitely come back in here, So I think, I don't know, I think he felt there was some level of professionalism in here. Not by the people, but by the equipment. So he hung out in here for a few minutes. And then as we were, getting ready for him to, as he's leaving, he stopped and he goes, hey, what's your Instagram? So I started to give him mine. I was like, actually, you know what? I said, forget mine. I said, it's more important that you have, this room's Instagram. So I gave that to him. And he immediately picks up his phone. He goes, you messaged me. I said, actually, I did message you like a month ago asking you if you come in here. And he goes, I'm really sorry, man. He goes, I never saw this. I said, I'm sure you get, a ton of emails a day. I said, it's no problem. But he immediately followed the page, which I thought was very cool. But then he puts his phone out and he says, all right, let's take a picture. So I posted the picture yesterday, and there it is for you now. So yeah, Tom actually took that himself on his phone, and then sent it to me, on Instagram, privately. So I was like, son of a bitch, how cool is that? So yeah, and then he was kind of hanging. He did go back into the green room for a while. He needed to prepare for the show, but then he eventually came back out. And by this point, because the emerging talent show in the Giga Room, they had quite a few comics in there. I want to say it was around 10, give or take. He was out here almost the whole time leading up to his show and their show, talking to everybody. Nick Greystone eventually got here, and Nick got a picture with him. Chris Roach, like I said, was performing. So it was just there was a lot of cool things going on here. Again, Tom Green was just fantastic. What a nice guy. Didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect him to be a dick. I did. I expected him to be weird. But he was just nice and friendly. And again, just not what I expected at all. So it was really cool. You won him over with your charm, says John. Yeah, that's me. I'm charming. I went, hey, Tom. Hey, yo. So, so thank you, Tom Green, for stopping by and hanging out and for being so cool. And we look forward to you coming back next year. And hopefully you'll be in this room. Unlike Steve Burton from General Hospital, who is not coming in here next week. And I told you guys the whole story. I won't go through it again, but I've told you guys the whole story. So I saw James, the owner, last night. And I went to him. I go, what's the story with Steve Burton? I said, does he want this room for his green room again next week? And he goes, no, I don't think so. He goes, I don't know what that was. That he only did it that one time. I said, no. He said he's done it like 3 or 4 times. He's like, really? I said, yeah, I'm telling you, he's done it like 3 or 4 times. He goes, I don't know. He didn't say anything to me. He goes, no, I wouldn't worry about it. I said, all right, good enough. So that means I'll be here next week. So I just might see that Steve Burton. Maybe we'll fight. He'll kick my ass. That dude is cut, man. He's solid. But I don't care. Let him kick my ass. He's still a dick. He kissed my ass last year. And now oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'd love to do an interview with you. Yeah. And then, boom, as soon as I email him about it, now. Prick. Maybe I'll prepare anyway, because I'm wondering if maybe from the email, it just wasn't clear who I was. Do you think that's possible? Maybe when he's here and he sees the room and he sees me, maybe he'll be like, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll come sit with you for 5 minutes. So I should prepare a little bit anyway. But I don't want to waste my time because he probably won't come in here unless, it's to change his shirt. I'll get here early and I'll start recording. That way when he comes in and takes his shirt off, I'll post it and show you all his nips. So anyway, so that was great last night. So also hanging out, Rob White was hanging out here last night. He wasn't performing, but it was always cool to hang out with Rob. Nick was here. Luke Piccioni was here. Luke Piccioni, who I have not gotten in here enough. Nick is a great dude, very funny. He's been in the green room with us in here. If you guys remember, he does a perfect Adam Sandler impersonation. I don't know if that helps you remember him. Great guy. Joe Corvella was hanging around. So after all the shows were over, there were some people at the bar. The crowd was filing out. The Giga room was empty at this point. So we're just hanging out. It was me and Luke and Nick and Joe Corvella and Greg Giraldo Jr. was here. Greg Giraldo, for all you comedy fans, was a great comedian in the 90s. And then unfortunately passed away, I think it was the early 2000s. Here in the hallway at Governor's, they have pictures of him hanging up. He had been here many times. A crowd favorite and just a favorite of all comedians. Wouldn't say he's a household name, but definitely a big name in comedy. National headliner. Just a great comedian. Unfortunately passed away. Yeah, I think it was around, I want to say 2005. I don't know if that's right. Might be a little later than that. Maybe 2009, maybe. Anyway, yeah, so he passed and left behind a wife and 3 sons. And I've been hearing the past few months that Greg Giraldo Jr. has been hitting the clubs in the city. That's kind of news. So people are like, a little bit of a buzz, because Greg Giraldo was just a genius up there. So funny. So, of course, people have high expectations for his son. So he was there, too, last night. He was here, too. So we're hanging out in the Giga room just bullshitting. And thumbs up. Thanks, Jerry. And I don't know how it came about, to be honest with you, where the guy started joking. I think it was Joe Corvella was like, well, let's do our own open mic right now. So James came walking towards the Giga room, so Joe went up to him and says, hey, you mind if we jump up on mic, on the stage there? And James like, of course, yeah, do whatever you guys want. He goes into the sound booth of the Giga room, lowers the lights, turns on the mic, and even gives Joe Corvella an introduction. So Joe Corvella jumped on stage, and it was really funny. And we were just all picking on each other, and here, I'll show you something.
He's good, man. He's a nice guy. He's very funny. He's very funny. He's a good dude, man. Yeah.
This is what the room looks like when Joe Corvella headlines.
So, is anybody dating? What's the deal with that? You guys seen anybody?
Complicated.
Okay, that means he's gay. So, yeah. So, you guys are good. You guys are really good. I like him. That was good, man. He's a.
So yeah. And each guy jumped up on stage and they were just messing around. I think Greg Giraldo Jr. may have tried a little bit some new material, but not really. The guys were just messing around. We were having a lot of laughs, just picking on each other and goofing around. And this is that's Greg Giraldo Jr. right there. It was cool to meet him and cool to hang with the boys. It was a lot of fun. So that was that. And then, so I went to the bar. I said goodbye to everybody. Tony Landolfi was hanging around. Trying to think who else was here. Just a lot of, some great people. And so I said goodnight to everybody, and I'm leaving. And I come through here, and I go out the back door. I open the back door, and I literally screamed like a girl. Ah! There was some girl standing right there. She wasn't like 10 feet away. She was right there at the door. And she's just standing there like this. So I open the door to that. And like that. And I go, oh my God. I said, I didn't know anybody was standing there. And she's just like this. She's like, obviously not straight. I'm telling you, she was wobbling. Well, just because she was wobbling doesn't mean she wasn't straight. Shut up, Andy. So And the way she was just looking at me with this blank stare, I did think for a second, like, I'm about to die. Like, is this how I'm going out? Just, talking to Tom Green and some guys who are 30 years younger than me in the giggle room. Like, is that really how I'm going out? All of a sudden, she's standing and she goes, I love you. So there was a brief point where I was like a second or two, I'm like, do I know this girl? She's obviously drunk or high, but still, like, do I know her? I'm like, so I just go, love you too, baby. She starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy. So I take a step back, but I'm holding the door, just hoping she's trying to get in. Sure enough, she walks right past me. Kelpie says it was me. No, Kelpie, I would have known it was you. And I wouldn't have let you just pass me. My arms would have been out, and I would have been holding on for half hour. So she does. She walks right past me. She walks in, but the whole time, I mean, I can't tell you how many times she's like, I love you. I just love you. I love you. I'm like, I love you too. I love you too. But now I'm like, I just let this girl in. How do I know she's not like a Tom Green stalker of some sort? Like, I have no idea who this woman is. So I said, where are you going? She goes, oh, she was just hanging out. But but if you miss me, come find me. Something like that. Something about missing her. And I was just like, okay, love you, baby. I just kept repeating it, and she did. She walked away and she went into the club. So I'm like, oh shit! Like, not only do I not want to be responsible for Tom Green getting killed, but I didn't want it. Even if this girl just walked into the club and threw up on the floor, like, I didn't want to be the one that was responsible for letting her in. So I go back into the club. I walked back to the bar. Sure enough, a couple people are like, didn't you leave like 10 minutes ago? I go up to Ozzy, the great security man. And I tell him what happened. I go, Ozzy, I went out to leave. I go, this girl was standing right there. I said, and she just walked in. I said, and sure enough, she was standing there at the bar. And there were two guys with her. I don't even know if she knew them. And I didn't know who those two guys were. I didn't know if they were comedians or what. But I tell him the whole story. And Ozzy, sure enough, he goes up to me and he goes, all right, folks, the place is about to close up. You guys got to go. Just like that, which is why Ozzy's so cool. Because I don't have I'd be like, excuse me, guys, if you don't mind, could you, we're trying to close. So maybe you could, please, thank you. So, and that's why you don't work in bars, Mr. Walker, because you are just too nice. Shut up, Andy. Am I nice now, Andy? Am I nice now? So, so sure enough, these people leave. And again, I don't know if this girl was with these guys or not, but I'm sure she was from that point on. But and that was it. And then I left. But I just thought it was a weird way to end the night. But still a great night anyway. Hanging out with Tom Green, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Green. Brendan Bird is watching. Hope you guys got to see Brendan. He Zoomed with us yesterday. Had a fun conversation with him. Congratulations again to him. Performing stand-up for the first time last weekend. Hope it won't be the last. And Brendan, I saw your email. My apologies for not writing back. But no need to thank me. You were a lot of fun. Yes, we will have you on again. And when we do have you on again, you'll have to tell us why your friends call you Crash. So, So we look forward to seeing you again. Andy never shuts up, does he? I know, Jerry. Can you imagine how bad it would be if I had the Laura picture here? Him and the Laura Patton. The two of them would never shut up. But he's still smiling. He's always smiling. We love Andy. So that's all the cool stuff. That was everything from yesterday. Again, hope you enjoyed Brendan yesterday. I do enjoy when people who watch the show regularly are supportive, loyal viewers. It's cool when they get to have some time in here with us. So I thought that was really cool. So all right, so let's see, what do we got going on here? What do we got? So Andy couldn't make it today. I one thing I haven't mentioned, which I kind of feel bad about. I wanted to just congratulate and wish my son well. Zach, as you guys know, is a filmmaker. He works with a production company. that makes a lot of mainly Christmas movies, but they they get shown on places for streaming in places like Hallmark, and they were doing a TV show called Welcome to Hope, which was a faith-based series. That's no longer in production, but he's up in Lake Placid. He left last Sunday, and he's not coming home until like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. They're filming a movie up there, up in Lake Placid. So I just want to wish him well, tell him I miss him, and I'm proud of him, and I hope he's having a great time. He said he's having a good time. They're filming at this big mansion on the water. He sent me some pictures. It's beautiful. And I don't know much about the film or who's in it. The only person I know so far that's in it, if you guys were a Sopranos fan, Al Sapienza is the actor. He played Mikey. Mikey Palmisi, I think was the character's last name. He was on the first season or two, definitely the first season of The Sopranos. He was like Uncle Junior's consigliere. They killed him. Christopher and Paulie killed him. I forget if it was the end of season 1 or 2, but Al Sapienza. So that's the only person that I know of that's working on this movie so far. Jerry Lehane, get Brendan in live soon. Smells much fresher live. All right. Andrew Fremder. Andrew always knows what time it is because his mustache reads 3:45 or 9:15. That's true. That's true. Is that right, Andy? Oh, that Fremder. Don't encourage him. So, Al Sapienza. Yeah, so I sent the message to Al Sapienza. Ask him if he would like to come on the show sometime. So, yeah. So, good luck to Zach. Hope he's doing well. All right. I'm going to show you guys some pictures. Just some funny. I got some random stuff today. I'm not totally prepared because I had other stuff planned to talk about with Andy. Like I said, I didn't know Andy wasn't coming until probably, I think it was like around 9:30, 10 o'clock when I saw his message that he wasn't coming. So I'm not, so I, just scurrying last minute to try to get some stuff to do. So I'm going to show you some random, I got some random photos I'm going to show you that I thought were funny. And then I have some random things that I wanted to talk about as well, if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, got some random stuff. I'm good. Okay, here we go. So this first picture I'm going to show you. So this person opens the door, and I thought my kitchen was on fire. If you see in the in the doorway there, you see some flames. That is a mixture through the window of the kitchen, but it's also, the fire is a reflection of the fireplace that's behind the glass. That's in front of the glass. So it kind of mixed in with what you see through the glass. Am I making sense? I hope I am. So it looked like things were on fire. All right, this next one. Hang on, I just want to crop it and zoom in a little bit. Yeah, okay. So this next one is a garbage can, I believe. Yeah, it's a box for a garbage can called Superhuman. And you get a box, like in this case a garbage can, and the box, for something large like a garbage can, it's the box. A box. They have the handle, like the indentation. You just put your hand in, lift it. So they really should have been careful about where they put the handle for this box. So you have the model there demonstrating, how to step on the lever so that the garbage can opens up. But the handle and I guess the garbage can inside the box just happens to be the same exact color as the model's shirt. So yeah, be careful where you place that handle, literally. All right, now this last one, this last photo I'm going to show you. I love that garbage can picture. This last photo. Tell me in the comments here where the refrigerator is in this photo. You see the kitchen. You see what looks to be a closet or something. Tell me where the refrigerator is. Hi. Brendan Burt, is that the actor that died in the poison ivy on The Sopranos? Yes. Yes, it is. That is Al Sapienza. His character's name was Mikey. Yeah. Yeah, when Paulie and Christopher were chasing him, Paulie got, poison ivy all over him. Yes. Jerry Lahane, Andy's always great, by the way. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Andrew Fremder, fire in the kitchen, somebody call renewal by Anderson. Brennan Burt, the fridge is in the picture. Oh, the fridge is the picture. Yeah, that is correct. When you first look at it, you're like, wait a minute, what? It looks like you're just walking into a kitchen. At least I think that's what it looks like. Only to realize that's the reflection of the kitchen in the refrigerator. So yeah, I thought that's brilliant, says Brendan. Yeah, the fridge is a mirror. Yeah, there you go. Yep. You guys all got it. You guys are better than me. Took me forever to figure that out. Well, that's because you're such a simpleton from Hicksville. I love Hicksville. I love Hicksville, Andy. I don't want to ruin that picture by smacking the shit out of it. Oh, sorry, you didn't even see me do that. So there you go. I found People on Mars 2004, says Jerry. Jerry, didn't you send me some kind of a photo of somebody on Mars? Yeah, we talked about this once before. Fremder, now when I go to get something to eat, I can see how fat I am at the same time. Yeah, absolutely right. I hear you. All right, so also, just some random silly shit, just like those pictures. I was reading an article this morning where some people mention some interesting facts that these are facts that people thought were common facts, well-known facts, but they might not be to everybody. And this first one was something I didn't know. Even-numbered highways run east to west. And odd-number highways run... Well, all right, I'm going to start that over. Even-number highways run east and west. Not east to west, but east and west. Odd-number highways run north and south. I had no idea. And now that I think about it, I don't think that's always the case here in New York. This article I was reading, that fact is talking about the whole country. But we have a highway called Route 110. Well, no, I take that back because that's not considered, because that runs north and south, and it's an even number, but that's a state road, I believe. I don't think that's a highway. Even numbered highways run east-west. Yeah, you figure Route 80, that runs east-west. I-95 runs north-south. That's odd. Yeah, Brennan Burt says 495. All right, that runs east-west, and that's not an even number. Is that considered a state road? I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, I'm just going to move on. One of the facts they listed that they thought was common, but maybe not by everybody, is the Heinz ketchup bottle. You guys know that, right? If you tap it directly on, if you look at the label, has that number 57. If you tap it directly, if you hit the number 57, the ketchup just comes pouring out, and it works every single time. You don't have to sit there shaking that bottle. House numbers follow similar patterns. They do? House numbers follow the similar patterns of odd and even. Really? I did not know that. Here's something I didn't know. On plastic wrap and aluminum foil boxes, there are punch tabs on the sides that holds the roll in place. Right? I mean, how many times are we fighting with those things? Like it doesn't come out evenly, or the roll falls out if you're holding it sideways, or or it gets all crazy as you try to rip it. Apparently, there are tabs on the sides that hold the roll in place. I'll have to look at that when I get home because I have nothing else to do. Kelpie, let's talk 57. Okay. What would you like to say about it? Fremdar, I used to date a chick with big tits that lived off the Sag. Oh, my goodness. For those of you not in this area, the Sag is like the nickname for a highway here. The highway is called the Sagdacoste Parkway. I'm assuming Long Island, a lot of our towns and a lot of our history has to do with Indians. So I'm assuming Sagdacoste was an Indian tribe. A lot of our towns, like Massapequa, Connecticut, a lot of our towns are named after Indian tribes that were here before we killed them and took it over. So the Sagdacoste Parkway. So that's what Fremder is referring to. Yeah, girl with the sag. Kelpie, let's talk 57. What would you like to talk about with 57? Kelpie, if I knew that Andy wasn't going to be here today, I would have said, "Hey, Kelpie, come on back." Kelpie, how'd you do this week with your? Was that this week? You had your your big moments in the beautician school, or is that this coming week? I think you were preparing this week, and it's next. I forget. Only pertains to state roads. Okay. Fremder, I wish I could tap my stomach like that when I feel constipated. Ain't that the truth? What's next? Did you know that the original voice of Tony the Tiger, is the same voice on the original cartoon of The Grinch? The same guy who did Tony the Tiger also did The Grinch. I did not know that. His name was Thurl, Thurl Ravenscroft. How's that for a name? Thurl Ravenscroft. No wonder he had a mean, low, kick-ass voice. People probably made fun of him about his name. What did you say? Nothing, Mr. Ravenscroft, nothing. Yeah, I had no idea. And I do believe he's dead. Not positive. Brendan Burt, everybody knows the where to see the girls' tatas on Land O'Lakes package, right? Yes, and I do believe, but I think they've stopped it, right? That was a cool thing. Like, you heard about it for years. It was just something that everybody seemed to know, right? And you took the Land O'Lakes, you took her knees, you moved them up, and you saw the titties, and you were like, oh. But eventually, once it made it to TV, I'm pretty sure they don't, I believe they took the girl off the packaging, which is a shame. What's next here? In most places, it's almost against the law. In most places, it's almost always against the law to not have a house number. There you go. Speaking of house numbers. In most places, it's almost always against the law to not have a house number, meaning to not have your house number on your house. That's what we mean. Like, like this, like Governor's is 90 Division Avenue. There's supposed to be 90 somewhere on the building. That way, it's imperative for 911 and EMT, police, and fire department to know where you are in case of an emergency, or to know where they're going. So yeah, it's law that it's supposed to be, the numbers should be on the establishment. Fremder, Tony the Tiger and Grinch also does Transformers Optimus Prime. Seriously? I don't know if Fremder's making a joke or not. I mean, but is this man Thurl Ravenscroft, is he still alive? Thurl Ravenscroft. If he's still alive, I'm going to try and get him on this show. American actor and bass singer. All right, let's see. Oh, no, he's been dead for a long time. He's been dead since 2005, aged 91. American actor and bass singer. Kellogg's for Tony the Tiger. Okay. He wasn't the voice of the Grinch. Oh, I'm glad I looked this up. He wasn't the voice for the Grinch. He's the guy that sang the song. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Did voiceover work, a lot of Disney stuff. Oh, and even voices at Disney World, Disneyland. The Haunted Mansion, Country Bear Jamboree, Mark Twain Riverboat, Pirates of the Caribbean, Disneyland Railroad, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Yeah, it died at the age of 91. February 6, 1914 is when he was born. That's the year my grandmother was born in 1914. But she died long before him. Let's see. Oh, wow. He sang backup for Bing Crosby, Frankie Lane, Spike Jones, Rosemary Clooney. Huh. He sang a song in the original Pinocchio film. Oh, which was deleted from the film. Oh, but then they added it back in the 2009 DVD. They added it back. He voiced Monsieur the Whale in Pinocchio. He sang songs in Alice in Wonderland, Lady and the Tramp. Let's see. Oh, he sang for Looney Tunes. Wow. He was part of the Jack Benny program on the radio. Wow. So, yeah, this guy did quite a bit, huh? Oh, and he went uncredited for the song You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Oh, his name was accidentally omitted from the credits. Wow. That's weird. Oh, but then it was credited to him in 2021. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch hit number 32 on the Billboard Top 100. So he got credit then. Why would that song get credit in 2021? I don't understand. He died from prostate cancer. All right. There you go. There's sorry, we spent a lot of time on that today. I didn't mean to do that. So there you go. What else? Oh, now I thought this was common knowledge. This last silly fact I have here. Apparently there are some people out there that still don't know if you swipe your phone on a locked iPhone screen that the camera pops up. When I'm working at White Post Farms, when something is lost, if somebody finds a lost item or a lost phone or a lost person, they bring it to me and I make the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, Sally here is looking for her phone. If anybody finds a phone, or I'll get a phone. So anybody lose a phone, I have it. If you can unlock it, it's yours. And I do it every time. In the meantime, I'm going to take pictures. And I unlock it. Well, I don't even unlock it. I just swipe it, and there's the camera. And I take a bunch of selfies. We did that a few weeks ago here at the club with Mary Capone's phone. I remember showing you guys the photos. And, man, I think even Mary said, how did you unlock my phone? I said, shut up, Mary. Just like, yeah, shut up, Andy. So, so that's that. So today, all right, let me read some comments here. Let's see. Vicky. Oh, hi, Vicky. Happy weekend, everyone. Same to you. Vicky, Boris Karloff was the cartoon Grinch. Right, but Thurl Ravenscroft sang the song. Frank Walker, Boris Karloff was the spoken voice of the Grinch. Right, okay. All right, everybody's correcting me. All right, thanks. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I dropped my pen now. I'm smacking my microphone. Okay. Yesterday, man, Nick Raystone talked about on his show yesterday, just before we went on the air on his show, I was walking over here to my right here, and I tripped over a wire, and it was a little weird for a minute. Things were on like a hair away from getting pretty crazy in here. but we managed to salvage everything. Well, I say we. Nick sat there laughing and giving commentary while I scurried. Yeah, I'd never done that before in all my years and, hundreds of times, thousands probably at this point of walking. So if you walk to my right over here, there's only like a foot between the edge of this desk and the wall. So I just have to squeeze through. But, I caught a wire with my foot and it came flying with me. And I almost fell on my ass and then I was like stumbling around. And this is all, right in the height of everything yesterday. There's all sorts of people in the hallway. They're all looking at me like, what the hell are you doing in there? Jerry Lehane, I put Boris Karloff in a Petty song called Zombie Zoo on Full Moon Fever, which Petty hated because he was a gravedigger in teens. Tom Petty had an album called Full Moon Fever back in 1989. Free Falling's on that album. I Won't Back Down is on that album. Great album. Jerry Lehane claims he put Boris Karloff in that song. Meaning what? He was singing on that song? Zombie Zoo is the name of the song. Dancing at the Zombie Zoo. Was Boris Karloff still alive at that time, Jerry? And what do you mean? Yeah, what did he do on that song? He sang? Did he play lead guitar? What do you mean? Fremder, Land O'Lakes is delicious. There's nothing wrong with a little Indian nipple butter. Nipple is two P's, Andrew. All right, well, speaking of music, not Tom Petty, but of course it's a good day and a bad day in good old classic rock. It is the birthday of Jim Morrison. Of course, lead singer and songwriter of The Doors. Great band. They get a little overplayed. Oh, I shouldn't say they get overplayed, but the same 5 songs seem to get overplayed on the radio. Great band. And of course, today is the anniversary of the death of John Lennon. 43 years ago today, John was taken from us. Is that crazy? 43 years. That's longer than he was alive. 43 years. Yeah, he was only 40 when he passed. Can you imagine? I was only 10 when he died. And at the time, it just, when you're 10, everybody's old. A 12-year-old is old in your book, So, at the time, he was like ancient in my book. But, especially now, when you realize just how fast time does go. And, as you get older, you realize how young that actually is, man. It's just a shame. I try to remember people on their birthdays, to make it more positive and to make it more of a celebration. But it's hard when certain people die. It's hard to not think about it. Especially somebody like John Lennon. How do you not think about it? So, Jerry, I don't know what that's supposed to say. In used his name. Now I'm assuming the N is accidental, but I used his name. I don't know what that means either. Are you referring to Boris Karloff? He's mentioned in the lyrics. Is that what you're saying of the song Zombie Zoo? And I guess you're telling me you wrote that song. I think you told me you wrote Free Fallin' and I Won't Back Down. Jerry Lane, you look like Boris Karloff, but talk like Yogi Bear. I get that from everybody. Anytime anybody does an impression of me, they do Yogi Bear. Sons of bitches. I don't look like Boris Karloff. You look like Boris Karloff. Brennan Burt, first time I heard my mom use the F word when we heard the news of Lennon getting shot. Oh, wow. I heard Lennon had a little yellow submarine. Oh, Fremder. So you heard your mother use the F word for the first time. I heard about it in school because it happened late, right? It was December 8th, but it was late December 8th. Wasn't it like 11 o'clock at night or something? Yeah, so I didn't know about it till the next day at school. I remember my brother being very upset, and then my mother took us out to Sears because Frank wanted to because Lennon had just put out his album called Double Fantasy. It was only out for like a month or two at that point. Lennon's big comeback. He hadn't made an album in 5 years at that time. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, time moves slow. I don't know if it's an age thing or what, but just time seemed to move slower back then. To go 5 years without making a record, that was a long freaking time back then. Now it's almost the norm where people wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years in between albums. But time just goes faster anyway. Like you didn't realize, really, it's 5 years since so and so made an album. And Lennon was very out of the public eye at that time. Him and Yoko had a baby in 1975, Sean Lennon. So John Lennon had decided to stay home, and he wanted to tend to his son. His older son, Julian Lennon, he wasn't there for. He missed a lot with Julian because Julian was born, 62, I think he was born. So so John was in the height of the Beatlemania, the height of his fame, and he was also young. He was only 22 when Julian was born. So he wasn't ready to be a father, which sucks for Julian. I think they kind of, John tried to make it up to him throughout the years, but anyway, he was out of the public eye for the most part from 1975 to 1980. So this was like a big comeback, taken from us way too soon. The age of 40. I mean, that's insane. I mean, if that was me, that would mean I'd be gone for 13 years. And 13 years, my son was only 10. Oh, I can't even imagine. Well, you know what? It's funny I say I can't even imagine. I was 10 when my father died, but I didn't know my father, so I didn't really, I didn't feel any loss. Whereas Sean, Sean was only 5 and he lived with his old man. That's terrible, man. It's just a shame. Just on that level. I mean, of course, for all of us Beatle nuts, we can talk about, ourselves and how we wish, if John was still alive, there definitely would have been a Beatle reunion, and probably so, but, that means nothing. This poor kid lost his dad, and his mother lost her husband. Who cares? I mean, fine. Nobody likes Yoko Ono, but it was still her husband. And I'm sure she would have appreciated him being around longer. And now she's older. She was a lot older than Lennon. So if Lennon was still alive, he'd be 83. She's 90 or 91. In fact, I just read somewhere that she's not in good health. And in fact, she's not even living in New York anymore. Which was weird to me too, man, how she stayed where Lennon was. He was killed outside the Dakota apartment building in New York City because that's where they lived. And she continued to live there. That's weird, isn't it? I mean, how do you walk in and out of the place? Because that's where he was killed, right in the doorway. Like, you walk through there, like, oh, this is where my husband was shot. This is where I saw my husband bleed to death. It's crazy. But yeah, I just read somewhere that her and John own some land. I forget where it is. But she's been moved. She's been moved there to live out the rest of her days. So I think, yeah, it sounds like Yoko's days are numbered. Yeah, so very sad. Sad day. But you know what? October 9th is John Lennon's birthday. Play your Lennon music that day. Play your Doors music today. So that way, you just an appreciation that we had these people in our lifetime. And we have their music to enjoy, everything they left us. And then go and enjoy your weekend and play the music. Yes, I wrote the whole album. And more. The Boris Karloff is the lyric. Okay. You wrote that whole album, Jerry? Jerry, we asked you. I asked you yesterday. I'm going to ask you again today. Show me something. Something that proves that you wrote this stuff. You must have something that proves it. You must have a picture with Petty. You must have something. Something, damn it. Brennan Burt, I didn't know until recently how close John and Paul were going to be on SNL the night Lauren offered them $500 on the air. Yeah, if you don't know what Brennan's talking about, in 1975 or 76, 76 I think, Lorne Michaels, the man who who runs Saturday Night Live, he got in front of the camera and he offered the Beatles. I think it wasn't only $300. if he actually held out a check, he showed it to the camera. And it was written out to the Beatles for the amount of $300. He said, if the Beatles come on this show and reunite, I think I forget exactly what he said, but you could play one song, you cannot play a song, you just get on camera and just reunite. And he said, I don't even care how you split this money. All you got to do is walk out here. And he offered them this money. It never happened, obviously. George Harrison was a guest on the show a few months later, and of course they made reference to it, which was really funny. There's a part where George Harrison and Lorne Michaels are arguing, and Lorne's like, "No, the offer was for all four of you, not for one of you." And then what's great about it is that McCartney then appeared on Saturday Night Live in 1993, and they make a reference to it there too, where Paul is now fighting with Lorne Michaels. I'm here, and he's like, "No, it was for everybody." But it turns out, Paul revealed years later that he was actually in New York the night that Lorne Michaels offered that check. And not only was he in New York that night, but he was at John's apartment, and they were watching it. They saw it live on TV, and they actually did look at each other and like, should we go over there? Should we make an appearance? And they opted not to. But how wild would that have been, huh? The last picture of Lennon and McCartney taken together, I think, is from 1973 or 4. They met up in L.A. From there, Yoko Ono sounds like cats being murdered before they put them in the Chinese food. It makes me laugh. When I play Yoko's music, remember I used to play it on here quite often. My tribute song to Lennon, says Jerry Lehane, on Penny's album Wildflowers is "It's Good to Be King." You wrote "It's Good to Be King." And what's the reference to Lennon? Jerry, all right, Jerry, I'm starting to get a little suspect. It's good to be king. So what you're saying is John Lennon was killed by the Doors. Yes. Jerry Lehane, I stole some Lennon. Piano from song Woman. Only song by Birds on Full Moon Fever. All right, let's see. I stole some Lennon. Piano from song Woman. On what song? Only song by Birds on Full Moon Fever. Oh, that's the only song you didn't write. Right. Tom Petty covered I Feel a Whole Lot Better by the Birds on that album, Full Moon Fever. Hello, Beryl. I think it was like 7,500. Oh, that must be Vicky under Beryl's. No, I don't think it was that much. All right, you guys. All right, I'm going to have to look it up again. How much did Lorne Michaels... Andy, do you know? Shut up, Andy. Offer the Beatles. I'm sure that's all I need to write, right? Oh, 3,000. I said 300. I had the 3 right. So I win. Jerry Lehane, not me, but McGuinn, whose album Back from Rio I ghost wrote. That's the album that Tom Petty's on, Back from Rio, with from Roger McGuinn. What's that? What was the big tune from that album? King of the Hill? Was that the name? Yeah, King of the Hill. That was the big tune from that album. You wrote all that too? Jerry, you wrote all these songs for all these people. You must have something, just a picture with anybody. Anybody. Frank. Oh, 3,000 for 3 songs. They could give Ringo less if they wanted to, right? Paul McCartney is really Angela Lansbury. They almost went to SNL, right? Of course, Frank knows, yes. On It's Good to Be King, it's Lennon-esque. It's Good to Be King. All right, I'll give you that. It is kind of Lennon-esque. Yeah. All right. Brendan Burt, what makes the Byrds such a good band? Answer, they put Bob Dylan songs to music. Yeah. I definitely think the Byrds helped Dylan. I mean, he was already, known as this amazing songwriter, but yeah, his singing, guitar playing skills are not great. But you can't deny those great lyrics and those great songs. But yeah, I mean, I would take the Byrds version of Mr. Tambourine Man over anybody's, including Dylan's. And they covered they covered what, 4 or 5 Dylan songs? Yeah. A lot. I mean, so many people have covered Dylan, and most of them you prefer the covers. Quinn the Eskimo, remember that song? Come on within, come on without. You never see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Bob Dylan wrote that. So, I think we have a special guest calling in. You're live on the air, sir. How are you today? Oh, wait a minute. Are you there?
What's up, Tone?
There you are, buddy. How are you, man?
You know, you're talking about this assassination of John Lennon.
Yes, I am.
Without any recognition to the fact that it was one of the darkest days in my life, and it has affected the trajectory of my life for the past 40 years. But
are we talking about Lennon, or are we?
We're talking about as soon as word got out as to who the name of the alleged killer was. I was an 8-year-old boy in the schoolyard, and I was getting investigated by the New York City police because they thought that I was Mark David Chapman.
Wow, yeah. So, the only difference is the Hirsch and the Chap.
So at this time, things weren't the same. Forensics weren't the same. They didn't have as much tools at their hand.
Right.
So I was on the jungle gym outside of Brooklyn Avenue School in Valley Stream. I had just been playing with my Schwantz. And next thing you know, I have three cops in suits come, and they smash me against the jungle gym.
Nice.
And they start questioning me, asking me if I was trying to harm Yoko Ono's husband. And I said I would have potentially if it was Yoko Ono, but not John Lennon, who I was a very big fan of. And next thing you know, I'm in a precinct in Upper Manhattan. I'm being under a white light. I said I'm 8 years old. I didn't do this. And it went on, and it's been a haunting memory for me. And I finally got through the investigation, but I think it's important that if you're going to be discussing this, you should be mentioning how it's affected the trajectory of my life.
Well, now you know why I chose to go with you to the Islander game this past Tuesday instead of today, because I figured being in a large crowd on this day would not be safe for you.
No, I'm in the house. I'm hunkered down. I know. This happens every year. Every year I peek outside, and the paparazzi drives by, and they're like, we're still not sure if they got the right guy. And I'm like, I'm tired of it already. It's 40-something years. Julian's made peace. Yoko's made peace. Everyone's made peace with me. It's enough already.
So do you have trouble playing with your Schwantz because you were playing with it at that time? So does it make you think of John Lennon, or maybe that helps you think of Yoko?
And listen, I know that John and Yoko were into some sort of crazy voodoo shit, and I'm pretty sure that they put a spell on me that my Schwantz was going to stay the size that it was that day for the next 43 years, and I have no good evidence to dispute that.
Yeah, I've read about that in the biography books.
Yeah, it's called the Schwantz voodoo.
Yes.
So that's what happened. So listen, I don't want to steal the show here today. I know you have a lot going on, but I heard you talking about this. I'm like, I better get a word in here.
I appreciate your honesty, and I know this is an exclusive. I know TMZ have tried to get a hold of you to discuss this, so I appreciate giving us the exclusive. But I will ask you what your price is. Give me a price, because for a certain price, I won't give out your address now that I know where you live.
Well, as usual, I will pay you to be on the air.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So.
Well, I appreciate your honesty and opening up, and I hope this, therapeutically helps you out by finally opening up and talking about it.
It does feel better. I'm going to go take a second look at my Schwantz just to make sure nothing has changed. And listen, have a great show. And I know you have a lot of fans commenting and chiming in, and I don't want to hog the space, but thank you for the opportunity, and I'll talk to you soon, okay, buddy?
Hey, I appreciate the call.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Suck it. Mark Hirschman checking in, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Hirschman. Yeah, I never even thought about that. His middle name is David. Mark David Chapman killed John Lennon. Mark David Hirschman. So you just switch out the Hirsch and the Chap. In all seriousness, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember reading an article. There was an actor named Mark. Was it Mark David Chapman, or just Mark Chapman? And this poor bastard was out there acting, trying to get work. Like he was a serious actor, union, trying to, feature films. And this poor bastard couldn't get work because of his last name. And I believe, if I remember right, I think he did change his name for a while. And I think he's back to using his real name. And I think he does like a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff now, like producing and directing. I think. I should look that up. I should try and get that guy on the show. Let's see. Best version of Mr. Tambourine Man is by William Shatner. It's a great version. I love that version, but not for the same reasons why I love the Byrds version. Jerry Lehane, protesting Yoko singing Ever. Are you kidding? I freaking love it. I laugh my ass off. Happiness is the warm schwanz. That's funny. Rusiello, I doubt any New York City detective would investigate an 8-year-old boy. Brennan Burt, Mark should actually narrate The Catcher in the Rye. That's the voice I heard when I read it. Oh, wow. All right. So that's that. Andy, do you have anything to say about John Lennon? I don't want to hear. Shut up. I'm enjoying this way too much. I got to do this when he's really here. Speaking of music, we got a few minutes left. Speaking of music, I'm going to ask you guys a favor. I read an article about Spotify. Spotify has recently announced that they're going to start laying some people off because they're claiming it's for financial reasons. Their CEO Daniel Ek, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's just EK, isn't it? Am I getting his name wrong? Whoops. Am I getting his name wrong? Spotify CEO. Yeah, Daniel Ek. EK. So I don't know, is it Eek? Is it Ek? This man will be 41 years of age in February. He has never written a song in his life. He is not a musician. But as the CEO of Spotify, he is worth more than $3.8 billion. That's more than Paul McCartney, who does write songs and plays instruments. This man, why do people, as they get richer and become more and more powerful and financially secure, why do they all end up laying off their employees? I mean, these guys, like, Amazon too, they're known for treating their employees like crap. And that's what Spotify is now doing too. These guys have more money. There's no way they can even count it all. I mean, $3.8 billion? He could lose $1 billion and not feel it. I mean, that says it all right there. And think about what you can do with $1 billion. How many people you can pay, and where it makes a difference in their lives. But why is he a CEO? Because the artists get pennies for the songs that you guys are streaming. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking an artist like Paul McCartney doesn't need the money. An artist like, anybody that you're downloading or streaming on Spotify and iTunes, you're thinking probably don't need the money. But you know who does need the money? First off, a lot of these musicians do need the money. Some of them aren't as big as you think they are. But the backing musicians who are not millionaires, a lot of the musicians that play on these records, don't get millions like the main person. And these people are regular slobs like us who are just trying to make a living. They see even less from streaming, if anything. So I implore you, continue to buy CDs, and or vinyl or whatever you want to get. Physical form. Buy directly from the artist, from their websites. Even if it is streaming, at least if you buy it directly from the artist's websites, if they offer it, the money goes straight to them. In fact, perfect example. Where is it? Do I have it? I do have it. Here's a perfect example.
You need to know about this band who started with Billy back in 1971, because it's not that history was written wrong, it wasn't written. So we're here to write it.
Well, we started with a bank in Colorado. The pocket of his vest to Cody, yeah.
Oh, loneliness will get to you somehow, but everybody loves you now.
That I've got to begin again. No, I don't know how to start.
Well, nothing I say does no justice to you. Nights of the day, the way that you do, Josephine. Oh, Josephine!
It's been a long, long time, and I had to make up your mind.
Captain Jack will get you high tonight. With just a little push, you'll be smiling.
Just in time for Christmas. Go get yourself that album. It's a fantastic album. It sounds great for a live album. Just a great album. Go to eliopace.com. Perfect Christmas gift. And those musicians are a perfect example. Elio Pace, Kenny Ingram, David Clark, working musicians, not household names. They're just trying to make a living. The other three, these guys have played with Billy Joel when he was first coming out. These guys aren't rich and famous. Larry Russell, who has some health issues going on, needs help getting medical bills paid. These guys they're trying to make a living like the rest of us. Go to eliopace.com, buy that CD. This year, the DVD of that concert came out, so buy that as well. The money goes directly to the musicians, and Elio does split it with all the guys on that, in that concert. He does the right thing. So they all get a piece. So go buy that CD, go buy that DVD, get CD players back in your cars, and support the musicians. Damn it. Correct rumor from me is Billy Joel broke, says Jerry Lehane. I seriously doubt it. But, that's a perfect example, too. Billy Joel is ending his monthly run at Madison Square Garden. When is he doing it? I think it's July. His backing musicians, these guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to paint the wrong picture. These guys they're not exactly, they're making a good living, but they can't afford to have a gig like that end. So I'm sure financially these guys, his backing band is going to start rethinking things a little bit. Now that they won't have that monthly Madison Square Garden gig anymore. But I know some of those guys, like Mike Del Giudice, originally from Long Island. He left us and went to Florida, but he's still a Long Islander. He just put an album out. He needs our support. So, yeah. So we're all just trying to make our money. So, yeah, so support all that. Maybe I'll end on that. It's just about time to go. I'm trying to think what else we got going on here. I was going to talk to Andy today about a whole bunch of different things, some comedy stuff. I was going to ask him about Kiss. Again, speaking of music, we didn't even talk about it this week. Kiss did their final concerts the other day at Madison Square Garden. Nick Greystone talked about it quickly last night. But Andy, have you ever seen Kiss? Kiss is a glorified rock band. They're not that good. They just sell their... Shut up, Andy. Shut up. Thanks for sticking with us today, Andy Plajanos. Thanks for hanging out with us. Once again, govs.com. This weekend, go see Zarna Garg, Kristen Tinsley, Chris Frangiola, Dorothy and Sophia Holiday Drag Show, Chris Scopo, Jim DeLakis, Allison Persky, Les Deegan, Olga Namer, Jeff Goldberg, Sean Donnelly, Teddy Smith, Douglas Luby. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. The Hanukkah Ha-Ha show is this Sunday at the Brokerage. Don't forget, December 22nd at the Brokerage. Fun holiday-themed murder mystery show with Knockem Dead Comedy featuring yours truly and Jeff Bosey. Go to govs.com, make your reservations. What do we got going on here? We got nothing going on this weekend. No green room shows or anything. Don is working. I'm working. So, yeah, we're not available. Oh, Kenny Friedberg is there. Can't forget Liberty, Russell, or Richie either. Good point. Richie Canada, the original saxophone player for Billy Joel. He's got some health issues going on. We wish him the best. So I'm sure he can use a little help. Russell Javers, the guitar player, Liberty DeVito, the drummer. Yeah, same thing. Those guys, Liberty DeVito doesn't have a big mansion somewhere that he's selling for $40 million like Billy Joel is. These guys are always trying to make. They're all just trying to make a living. And I can't stand these big CEOs who make all this crazy money and still treat their employees like crap. Ugh, makes me mad. Andy, answer the question. I just got that. Yeah. So in here we got nothing going on this weekend. We'll be back Monday. Oh, yeah, you know what? Monday. Speaking of Monday, I have to look it up. I don't even know. So Monday, I have a guest. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, we had Jen Snortland in here, and she brought her photographer friend, J.R. Messina. So I get an email the other day. I'm going to read this to you. So I'm going to end on this. So I get an email the other day. Good morning, governors, and I'm going to read it the way I got it, okay? I'm not going to add punctuation or take away. I'm just going to read it the way I got it. Good morning, Governors Comedy Club podcast. My name is Gina. I am friends with J.R. Messina, the photographer, and I had a question for you. I am an author and a screenwriter, and miracles do happen. I do have both of them coming out right now. The screenplay is on Amazon as a book form right now in a competition, and my vampire novel, first one, is due to come out sometime in the next week on 15,000 worldwide locations. So I wasn't sure if on your podcast you do anything to promote people, so I just figured I'd reach out to you and ask if so, please let me know, and we can make arrangements. I do live in Levittown. This is from a Gina Falke. I don't know, Falke. Falke? Falk? Fake? I don't know. You'd think somebody that is a screenwriter and an author would know where to put the punctuation. But anyway, me being the idiot that I am, I then said, well, Monday, December, 12th, 11, this Monday, December 11th, I don't have a guest on my show. Would you like to come in? And she said, absolutely. So she said, if you need any info from me so you can prepare for Monday, please let me know and I'll send some to you. So I said, yes, send me your info. And I have not received it. I have absolutely no idea what I'm in for on Monday. This is all on TikTok, by the way, that these messages came in. So I have no idea what I'm in for. If you see me go like this, that means I'm in trouble and I need some help. That's if this person even shows up. I have no idea. But that's what we got going on Monday, supposedly. Maybe. So that's the deal. Of course, Tuesday, Sean Elliott will be here. And Fat Jay is coming in. So that'll be fun as always. It's always fun with Fat Jay. And I'm sure him and Sean will be a lot of fun together as well. So that's that. And then I don't know what I got the rest of the week next week. Hopefully Andy will be back. I do believe Mike Kaplan, John Rusciello, if you're still watching, I do believe Mike Kaplan's coming back next Thursday, which will be the day before his birthday, I believe, or a day or two before his birthday. So, all right. So, run-on sentence much? Exactly. I've been plugging away trying to lure lady comedians, wives of Joe List and Mark Norman to governors. Why their wives? Oh, is Joe List and Mark Norman's wives, are they comedians too? Jerry Lehane is such a mysterious man. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope it wasn't boring with just me. Thanks, Andy. Everybody have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. I will be here. Yeah, I'll be talking. I'll let you know on Monday how it goes with Joey Cola on Sunday with the Sopranos thing. Tell you all about Knockem Dead comedy game shows over the weekend. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you later.
Hey, what will you experience at a Knockem Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
Have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. You had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers,